Some days your mind feels like it's been carrying the world all by itself. You wake up, and before your feet even touch the floor, there's a list of worries waiting for you. A memory, a regret, a question that has no answer yet. And it can feel as though life is happening to you, and you're just trying to keep up. Dear one, if this is you today, I want you to breathe with me. Just one gentle breath in and one soft breath out. You are not alone in this, and you are not broken. You are simply human, learning how to live in a world that pulls on your attention in 1,000 directions. Sometimes you've been trained to be hard on yourself. Sometimes you've been taught that worry is responsibility. Sometimes you've been told that you must fix yourself before you're worthy of love. But I've learned something, and I want to share it with you in the kindest way I know. Your thoughts create your reality every single day. Not in a harsh way, not in a blaming way, not in a way that says, if something hurts, it must be your fault. No, life is far too complex for that kind of cruelty. What I mean is much softer, much more hopeful. Your thoughts shape the way you see. They shape the choices you make. They shape what you notice, what you believe is possible, and what you allow yourself to receive. And when you begin to shift your thoughts consistently, one small thought at a time, life begins to respond. Not always instantly, not always in dramatic fireworks, but quietly, faithfully, like a river carving a new path through the earth. One thought at a time, you return to love. And that return, sweetheart, that is how a new life begins. The first thing I want you to know, dear one, is that you are not wrong for having negative thoughts. You are not bad because your mind sometimes goes to fear. You are not failing because you sometimes repeat old stories. Many people believe that spiritual growth means never thinking anything negative again, and that idea can become another weapon you use against yourself. I don't want you living that way, and I've learned that the mind is like a room you've lived in for a long time, and if you've had years of self-criticism, years of worry, years of bracing for disappointment, then of course your mind will have those familiar pathways. The mind likes what is familiar. It returns to what it knows, even if what it knows is painful. So when a fearful thought appears, I invite you to treat it like a visitor, not a master. You can say gently, "Oh, hello, I see you." And you do not have to obey it. You do not have to build your day around it. You do not have to make it your identity. There's nothing broken in you. There's nothing wrong with you. There's simply a pattern that can be changed. And here is something else I know. When you shame yourself for your thoughts, you add a second layer of pain. First you have the fear, and then you have the self-judgment. But when you meet yourself with compassion, the fear begins to soften. It begins to melt like frost in morning sunlight. I discovered that kindness is powerful. People think strength is harsh, like forcing your mind into perfect positivity. But real strength is tenderness. Real strength is saying, even when I'm scared, I choose to love myself. So let's make this practical. Today, when a negative thought arises, just one, pause for a moment. Place a hand on your heart if you can, and ask yourself, is this thought loving? Is it kind? Is it helpful? If the answer is no, you don't have to fight it. You simply choose again. You can say, I am willing to see this differently, or I choose a kinder thought now. One thought at a time, you return to love. And you can begin right here, right now. Your thoughts are like the weather of your inner world, changing, passing, and leaving clues. There are sunny thoughts and there are stormy thoughts. There are days when everything feels light, and days when it feels heavy. And many people believe that if a storm comes, they must panic because they think the storm is who they are. But sweetheart, you are not the weather. You are the sky. You are the awareness that can notice the storm and still remain present. You are the gentle soul who can witness your own mind with compassion. When you think a thought, it creates a feeling. When you repeat that thought, it strengthens that feeling. And when you live inside that feeling, you begin to behave in ways that match it. If you think, I'm not safe, you might tense your body, rush, control, or shut down. If you think, I'm not good enough, you might hold back from opportunities, hide your gifts, or overwork to prove yourself. If you think life is hard, you may not notice the small supports that are already here. This is not punishment. This is simply how the mind and body respond together. The mind-body connection is powerful. And many people find that as they change their thinking, their emotional well-being begins to respond. And if you ever need professional support, it's wise to receive it. What I'm sharing is a gentle tool for your journey, not a replacement for the help you deserve. Now I want to give you an image. Imagine a lighthouse on the edge of the sea. The beam of light does not fight the darkness. It simply shines, and that light helps ships find their way. Your attention is like that lighthouse beam. Where you aim it matters. If you aim it at everything that's wrong, you will feel surrounded by wrongness. If you aim it at possibility, you will begin to notice openings. If you aim it at love, you will find ways to soften and heal. So here is your practice. Once today, just once, choose a moment when you can pause, perhaps with your tea, perhaps in the car before you step out, perhaps in the bathroom mirror. Take one breath, then ask yourself, where is my attention right now? If it's on fear, you don't scold yourself. You simply guide the light. You say, I choose to look for one thing that supports me. Then find it. A kind message, a warm blanket, a task you've already completed, a person who cares, a breath that is still here. One thought at a time, you return to love. And little by little, the inner weather changes. When you repeat a thought long enough, it becomes a belief, and beliefs become the lens you look through. This is one of the most important things I've learned. We don't just think thoughts, we live inside them. We build a home out of them, and then we look out through the windows of that home and say, this is reality. But reality is often more spacious than the belief you've been carrying. Some beliefs were handed to you when you were very small. You might have heard, don't get your hopes up, or you have to struggle, or people can't be trusted, or you're too much, or not enough. And you didn't choose those beliefs. You absorbed them. Like a child learning language, you learned emotional language too. And then, as an adult, you may be living out the beliefs you never consciously agreed to. I used to see this in myself. I used to think certain things were simply the way life is. And then I began to notice. My thoughts were creating the lens, and the lens was shaping my experience. Not by magic tricks, not by instant miracles, but by the daily patterns I repeated, how I spoke to myself, what I expected, what I dared to try, what I assumed would happen. So if we want to change our reality, we begin by changing the lens. And you do that by choosing a new thought, small enough to feel safe, but strong enough to guide you forward. I want you to imagine a window box garden, the kind you might put outside a little apartment window. Now imagine it's winter. The world looks cold. Nothing seems to be blooming. And yet, you plant a few seeds in that box, not because you're guaranteed flowers tomorrow, but because you are participating in spring. New thoughts are like those seeds. You might not feel them working right away, but they are alive. And every time you repeat a kinder thought, you water the seed. Every time you act in alignment with that thought, you give it sunlight. So here is your practice. Choose one belief you are ready to soften, not the biggest one in your life, something manageable. Perhaps it's, I always mess things up, or I can't change, or I'm behind. Now choose a gentler replacement, something believable, something like, I am learning, I am growing, I can take one step today. Say it softly, let it land. One thought at a time you return to love, and one seed at a time you create a garden. Let me share something beautiful. You don't have to fight your mind to change your life. Many people imagine personal growth as a battle, wrestling with thoughts, forcing positivity, pushing away fear. But fighting creates tension, and tension makes the old patterns stronger. Instead, I invite you into a kinder way. Think of your inner world as a home. Perhaps there are rooms you love, your generosity, your creativity, your humor, and perhaps there are rooms you avoid, the room of grief, the room of anger, the room of shame. And if you've been avoiding a room for a long time, it may become dusty, it may feel heavy, it may hold things you don't want to see, but you are the one who lives here. This is your home. Changing your reality is not about burning the house down. It's about opening one window, letting fresh air in, turning on a light, tidying one small corner with gentleness. When you have a fearful thought, you can bring curiosity instead of combat. You can ask, what is this thought trying to protect me from? Very often, fear is an old protector. It believes it's keeping you safe. It's doing its best, and when you thank it, when you acknowledge it, the grip loosens. I know that might sound surprising, but I've seen it again and again. What you resist persists, and what you love transforms. So if your mind says, this won't work, you can say, thank you, I hear you, and I am still willing to try. If your mind says, you're not enough, you can say, thank you for trying to protect me from disappointment, and I choose to love myself anyway. This is not pretending. This is reparenting. This is becoming the loving presence you may have needed long ago. Now let's make it practical. When you catch an unkind thought today, don't push it away. Do this instead. Name it gently. This is fear. Offer compassion. It's okay to feel this. Choose again. I am willing to think a kinder thought. Then add one small action that matches the kinder thought. If the kinder thought is, I am capable, you send the email. If it's, I am worthy, you drink water and rest your shoulders. If it's, life supports me, you ask for help instead of carrying it alone. One thought at a time, you return to love, and one loving action at a time, life begins to open. Now, there's another layer to this. Your words are thoughts you speak out loud, and they shape your self-image. The way you talk about yourself is not casual. It is creative. It is instructive to your subconscious. Your inner mind listens to you, your body listens to you, your heart listens. If you tell yourself, I'm such a mess, your system begins to organize around mess. If you tell yourself, I can't do anything right, you will hesitate, shrink, and second guess. If you tell yourself nothing ever changes, you may stop trying before life even has a chance to surprise you. But when you speak kindly, you begin to build a new inner foundation. And I know, sweetheart, that sometimes kindness feels unfamiliar. Sometimes it even feels untrue at first. If you've been speaking to yourself harshly for years, a loving statement can feel like a foreign language. That's okay. You're learning. You don't have to jump from, I hate myself, to I adore myself in a single day. That can feel like too wide a bridge. But you can step onto a gentler bridge. I am willing to learn to love myself. I am open to seeing my worth. I am practicing kinder thoughts. These are powerful because they don't demand perfection, they invite change. I've learned that affirmations work best when they feel like a warm hand, not a whip. They're not meant to force you, they're meant to guide you. So let's choose a set of affirmations for this video. Simple, tender, and real. You can say them quietly or you can speak them aloud. I am safe in this moment. I choose to be kind to myself today. I allow life to support me in small ways. I am learning to trust my journey, feel the softness in those words, let them settle like rain into dry soil. And then, this is important, look for one small piece of evidence that matches them. Not a dramatic miracle, a small sign, a calm breath, a helpful idea, a kind interaction, a moment when you didn't criticize yourself as harshly. Because the mind learns through repetition and through proof, and when you pair new words with lived moments, the new belief grows stronger. Practice for today. Choose one affirmation and attach it to something you already do. Every time you wash your hands, you say, I choose to be kind to myself. Every time you open your phone, you pause and say, I am safe in this moment. Every time you sit down, you soften your shoulders and whisper, life supports me. One thought at a time, you return to love, and your voice becomes a healing place to live. Many people think creating a new reality means forcing positivity, but real change is much kinder than that. There is a difference between true healing and spiritual performance. True healing allows the whole human experience. It says, yes, I feel afraid, and I can still choose love. It says, yes, I made a mistake, and I can still respect myself. It says, yes, I don't know what's next, and I can still trust life one step at a time. Forcing positivity often means denying your feelings, and denied feelings don't disappear. They wait, they collect, they show up in the body as tension, in the mind as obsession, and in life as repeating patterns. But when you allow your feelings to be present, and you meet them with compassion, they move, they shift, they pass like waves. So if your reality feels heavy right now, I want you to hear this clearly. You do not have to pretend everything is fine. You simply have to be willing to take one loving step. And sometimes the most loving step is rest. Sometimes it's honesty. Sometimes it's saying no. Sometimes it's asking for help. Sometimes it's forgiveness, not for someone else's benefit, but to release your own heart from carrying poison. Your thoughts create your reality every single day, and that includes the thoughts you think about your emotions. If you think, I shouldn't feel this, you add suffering. If you think, it's okay to feel this, you create space for healing. I discovered that my life changed not when I became perfect, but when I became kinder. When I stopped abandoning myself. When I stopped speaking to myself like an enemy. And you can do this too, sweetheart. Here is a gentle practice that can help when you feel overwhelmed. Take a breath and name what you feel. I feel anxious. I feel sad. I feel frustrated. Then add a soft truth. And I am here for myself. Then add a choice. And I choose one supportive thought. That supportive thought might be, this feeling will pass. Or, I can handle one thing at a time. Or, I have survived hard moments before. Or simply, I am loved. This is not pretending. This is care. And over time, this care becomes a new reality. You become a person who supports yourself. You become a person who trusts yourself. You become a person who can feel life without being swallowed by it. One thought at a time, you return to love. And love becomes the ground you stand on. And here is where your day becomes sacred. Tiny choices, repeated, become a new direction. People often want one huge moment that changes everything. But most transformation is quiet. It's a series of small inner decisions that add up like steps on a path. Let me show you how this works in everyday life. If you wake up and think, today will be exhausting, you may move through the day bracing, rushing, and interpreting everything as proof that you're right. But if you wake up and think, I will meet today with kindness, you may notice moments of support you would otherwise miss. You may take a breath before reacting. You may speak to yourself more gently. You may choose a better boundary, and those choices create different outcomes. If you think no one cares, you may withdraw and not reach out. But if you think, I am willing to receive support, you might send one message, and one message can change the whole emotional tone of a day. If you think, I can't, you won't begin. If you think, I can take one step, you move, and movement creates more movement. This is why daily thought practice matters, not because it's a magical trick, but because it is a way of living on purpose. I want to offer you a simple daily rhythm, something you can return to like a gentle prayer. You can adapt it to your life. You can do it in your own way. You don't have to be perfect. Morning, choose your direction. Before you check your phone, place a hand on your heart and say, one thought at a time, I return to love. Then choose one thought you want to live by today. I choose peace, or I choose courage, or I choose kindness. Midday, re-aim the lighthouse. Pause for 10 seconds. Ask, where is my attention? Then guide it back. I am safe in this moment. I can handle one thing at a time. Evening, release and forgive. Say, I did the best I could today. I am learning. I allow myself to rest. If you made a mistake, you don't punish yourself. You learn and you choose again tomorrow. And if you miss a day, sweetheart, you do not start over in shame. You simply begin again in love. Because love is not a test you pass, love is a home you return to. One thought at a time, you return to love, and the path beneath your feet becomes steadier. Now I want to speak to the part of you that worries. What if my circumstances are real and hard? Yes. Sometimes life presents real challenges. Financial pressures, relationship pain, uncertainty about the future, grief, health concerns, and I never want you to use this teaching to deny reality or to blame yourself. This work is not about pretending the storm isn't there. It's about choosing how you hold yourself in the storm. When you change your thoughts, you often change your nervous system's response. You may notice more calm. You may make clearer choices. You may see opportunities you couldn't see when you were panicking. You may ask for help sooner. You may treat yourself with more respect. And those changes, over time, can change what is possible. This is why I love this work. It is gentle and it is powerful. And I want you to remember, you can be compassionate with yourself and still be committed to change. You can be tender and still be brave. You can be honest about what hurts and still choose new thoughts. Let life be a teacher, not a judge. If something isn't working, it's not a sign that you're failing. It's information, it's feedback. It's a place where you can bring more love. If you notice a repeating pattern, always feeling rejected, always feeling behind, always attracting chaos, don't blame yourself. Ask, what belief might be underneath this? Then choose a new belief that supports you. Sometimes the new belief is simply, I deserve peace, or I am worthy of respect, or I can learn new ways, or life is willing to support me. And then you act in small ways that match it. You don't wait to feel perfect, you practice. This is how a river changes the land, not by one dramatic push, but by consistent flow. So if you are listening to me and thinking, I've tried before, I want to say, that does not mean you can't do it. It means you are human. It means you are learning. It means you may have been trying with pressure instead of love. Let this time be different. Let this time be gentle. One thought at a time you return to love. And that return is the real miracle. Quiet, faithful, and yours. And now, dear one, let's bring all of this together in your heart. Your thoughts create your reality every single day. Your thoughts shape your feelings, your choices, your actions, and the patterns you repeat. When you speak to yourself with kindness, you build a safer inner world. When you choose new beliefs, small enough to feel believable, you plant seeds for a new life. And when you practice daily, you become the lighthouse of your own attention, guiding yourself back to love again and again. You don't have to do this perfectly. You only have to be willing. So I invite you right now to take a gentle breath. And if it feels good, place your hand on your heart and repeat after me, slowly, with softness. You can whisper, you can think it, you can simply listen. I am willing to be kind to myself today. I choose thoughts that support my healing. I allow life to guide me in gentle ways. I am learning to trust my journey. I am safe in this moment. And one thought at a time, I return to love. Feel those words like warm light inside your chest. Let them settle. Let them soften the tight places in you. And then, sweetheart, choose one small step you can take today that matches these words. One small step, a sip of water, a message to someone safe, a moment outside, a boundary, a quiet rest, an honest beginning. Over time, these steps become a new direction. And I want to leave you with this. You are not here to punish yourself into change. You are here to love yourself into freedom. You are here to grow into the truth of who you are. You are here to remember that you are worthy, worthy of peace, worthy of support, worthy of a life that feels kinder. Life loves you, and you can learn to love you too. One thought at a time, you return to love, and I am with you in that return.